NSFW, what's the best thing that happens to you in Truth or Dare? I was playing Truth or Dare with my sister's friends and I dared one of them to do something, and after one of them says, "You could have dared someone to kiss you and you would have gotten your first kiss." That immediately set a light off in my head, and later in the night I asked if I could kiss her and I did. So I got to kiss a really pretty girl. Big brain. Got dared to kiss my back then HS crush. Couldn't do it, not because I'm kinda shy but because it was my crush, so I denied and got booed out. She later came to check up on me and asked if I wanna do it, now that the others weren't around. Of course I said yes and we kissed, first on the cheek, then normally. Afterwards she giggled and told me she liked it. There never came anything from it, but I still think of her quite a lot these days. I found out a girl I had a crush on had a crush on me. How did that work out? It was senior year of HS. We gave it a shot and dated the rest of the school year and summer. But we went to college really far away and broke up. Still friends on Facebook and follow each other on Instagram, but really no contact. This was also like 11 years ago. I still wonder what could have been. My friend dared the girl I had a crush on to kiss me. She stared at me and said I can't do it. He's too ugly, and the other girls said the same thing. I ended up being ignored for the rest of the game. Good times equals. Edit, I was 12 when it happened. That event was one of the reasons why I grew up with low self-esteem. I'm over it now. But talking about it made me feel better, as I never mentioned this tragedy before. Thanks, you all. Peas. That girl I had a crush on tried to hit on me last year. With the time worked out well on you, kinda thought. Edit 2. I didn't think that a lot of PPL would sympathize with my story. Thanks a lot. You all made my year better. It was a girl's 19th birthday party and my buddy from high school was there. Everyone was being lame and awkward, so I suggested Truth or Dare. The game went on for a while, but people were getting progressively more naked and horny as most of them were drinking. I was the DD for another friend at the party and the people staying were getting raunchier, so we split. The birthday girl and my high school buddy hooked up and they've been together for about 7 years now and have a daughter together. I was about 12 at a friend's sleepover. I was dared to go home by a kid who didn't like me too much. I walked the 2 miles home, and as I came to my driveway my older brother had just pulled in. He had 3 baby raccoons with him because he had hit their mother while delivering pizza. I got to spend the rest of the night with him. 3 raccoons and a cheese and pepperoni pizza watching Nightmare on Elm Street. So what happened to the raccoons? Can't leave us hanging like that. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. We were too old to be playing Truth or Dare, like 20 years old. My friend had only seen boobs in his dad's Playboys. He hadn't even kissed a girl yet. Some woman was dared to show everyone her tits. My friend was silently stoked. He didn't cheer out loud, but I knew he was fucking giddy. As the woman lifted her shirt and bra, some other goober leaned right in front of my friend and blocked his view. It was over before my friend could react. He complained about it for weeks. We've laughed about it for years. Was dared to catch a frisbee in my teeth from across the yard. So, walked outside and across the yard. Girl wound up, threw the frisbee, figured this ought to be funny when it bounces off my face. And as a total fucking fluke, actually caught it in my teeth. Similar story. I was the annoying kid in 6th grade and my friends bullied me. Once some kid was talking shit, so we started arguing. Then he threw a grape at me. I caught that shit in my teeth without breaking eye contact. I have never been so powerful. Truth. What's the most interesting place you've had sex? I've never had sex, not in a bed. Oh, do I have a 2001 Grand Am backseat for you? I had a 2001 Grand Am backseat for her. I wasn't even playing and someone dared a girl I liked to kiss me. That someone became a very good friend. This happened to me. Only she begged for another dare and got mad when they wouldn't give her one. Instead she kissed my cheek and said, "That's all you're getting." A long time ago, when I attended a high school very far away, I was sleeping on a bus trip when a very hot girl leaned over me and kissed me, with tongue, without saying a word. About 5 seconds later I realized the cool kids were playing Truth or Dare in the back of the bus. Frown. I was at work, high school job at a department store. and the four of us in my department were playing truth or dare, mostly dumb work stuff like go mix up those shirts. Someone dared the girl who had a reppers being ... experienced, who was a couple of years older than me, to give me a blowjob. She told me to take break with her. I played along. We went to her car. She actually blew me in the store parking lot. Sounds like a solid win to me. I got to see my friend's sister's boobs and watch him lick an electric fence all in the same day. I am so glad you said electric fence. We dared this girl to give a friend of mine a lap dance using the first song that came up when he shuffled his entire song library. Seems pretty normal until she had to give a 3-minute lap dance to Cats in the Cradle. I'm gonna be like you, Dad. We'll have a good time then. I chose truth every time because I was super boring and had nothing to hide. I got made fun of that weekend, but Monday morning the nasty wannabe popular bitch went around spreading everyone's secrets, and the ridiculous stares they did. Everyone except me. Boring for the win. I was a late bloomer in HS. By the time I realized I may be attractive to anyone, it was over. Our senior year party for an art magnet school. We played this. A girl I had a fairly solid crush on, popular, cheerleader, a good friend, was asked who she had fantasized about, and I was the answer. 1 blew my mind. 2 gave me the guts to ask her out. 3 it was a horribly awkward silly lunch date. 4 built my confidence a lot heading into college. A silly story, but it was a good one. Got to play my very first, and only, truth or dare game when I moved to the US for college, with a bunch of people who I would characterize as moderately to severely religious. I was not, but those were the first people I had met, so I went with it. Needless to say, it was tame and clean. Worst thing someone got dared to do was walk up to a stranger and sing the national anthem. Reading all the responses here, I never imagined the game could be so interesting and sexually charged. I definitely missed out. Girl got dared to spin the bottle and give a blowjob to whoever it lands on right in front of everybody. The bottle didn't point at me, but I had a nice view right next to the girl it did land on. Apparently, she had experienced dining at the Y. I absolutely don't understand how this happens. Like 7 minutes of heaven. Okay, I can kind of get, but just going down on someone and having a whole group watch. Is this a rock band's party in the 80s? I went to an acquaintance's birthday. We spoke maybe 10 times prior. After a while she was down to just her bra and panties. That's when she was dared to seduce me. Well, she was kind of awkward, so her version of seduction was just to tackle me while we were both near naked. That was a great night, and we're celebrating our first year of marriage next weekend. Might have been a weird way to seduce you, but it worked. For some reason most women don't realize that seducing a man is a fairly low effort activity. Most of the time a simple "hey, you wanna" will do. In 8th grade I was dared to show this girl my dick. We went to a bathroom. I was 13 and horny, so I had a hard-on. I pointed it down and she didn't know the difference. She told her friends later, and I kinda got a reputation of having a big dick even though I'm completely average. I was 16 and my group of friends were sitting in a sauna. Everyone was covered up by a towel. When one of the girls said we should play truth or dare, I got dared to show my dick to one of the girls, so we went out to the changing room, showers that is attached to the sauna, and I showed her my dick and she gave me my first hand job, and later that night we had sex. Ended up together for about 6 years before I found out she had been cheating on me like a lot. Groupers were in these tunnels that we liked to hang out in, and our friend was dared to give me a blowjob, which she actually did. Best 10 seconds I ever had down there. Ended up dating on and off for the next 2 years or so. Apparently I played some lame-ass versions of Truth or Dare. Hold up. You bust a nut in 10 seconds, or it was just a 10-second BJ? Lol, it was not to completion. She just did it for as long as she wanted. It was probably more like 25 minus 30 seconds, but she had audience, which made it awkward for her, I'm sure. Man, when I went to school I saw a guy get to suck a girl's tit in TD. I'm still pissed to this day it wasn't me. Edit. Damn karma. I was at like 2k, now it's 11k. I was wonder what post. It was the tit-sucking one from my school days. Lols, Reddit is odd. You're pissed it wasn't your tit? Shari was dared to spend 10 minutes in a dark room, nearby Den, with the guy of her choice. She chose me. Turned out to be a setup. Her best friend knew that Shari had a crush on me and made this happen. Anyway, it was the hottest, fastest makeout session to date for me. We were both naked above the waist and she had her hand in my zipper. At 10 minutes there was an unwelcome knock on the door. How were Shari's berries? Did somebody say berries? Berries and what else? And cream. Rather tame compared to some of the shit that I've seen, and may or may not be envious of, in this thread. But one time when I was like 13-14, playing Truth or Dare at a sleepover, I was dared to walk into my friend's sister's room. They were 17 and 19, without knocking and just shout boobs. The only condition I set forth was that I was allowed to bolt back to his room and lock the door so they couldn't beat me up. I did it. And all I saw was the confused faces of his sisters, who had already gone to sleep, staring at my scrawny shirtless pubescent face yelling boobs at 2 a.m. Disappointing and anticlimactic as fuck. But that's what happens when you don't have friends.